Tarkov show match is just a metaphor for life if you think about
if
it.
You think about
it sucks and is toxic and cancerous, and the rules keep changing along the way, and then you fucking die to some shit that you had no control over.
Yep. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the podcast, a show dedicated to talking about all the poggers things in life, like music content creation and video games. I couldn't remember what it was for a second. For some reason, I was going to say something about Thanksgiving and ham and turkey, but it eluded me. I'm JesseKazam.
And I'm JesseKazam.
Wow. Quick, what is the superior Thanksgiving meat? Is it ham or turkey?
Turkey.
Well, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.
No, wait. Define superior, because
ham is better in every conceivable way.
Oh, no, I actually prefer to eat good ham than turkey, but turkey, it's when I think of Thanksgiving, I don't picture a fucking pig.
Yeah, it's because you've been freaking brainwashed.
What? Bro, you never see when everybody's like, have a great, and then if there's an animal emoji before the word day, is it a pig or is it a turkey?
Okay, you're right. You're right. But what I'm saying that I agree with you that when you hit Thanksgiving, when you hear that, you think turkey. But I'm saying that that was like a ploy by Big Turkey because they know that turkey is like the worst meat. And so they've had to assimilate. They had to attach themselves onto a holiday and make the entire identity of the holiday their terrible. It's like when freaking milk, right? The milk farmers or whatever, the dairy farmers, this is 100% accurate history. No detail will be missing right here. They had too many cows and not enough people buying. So they started their ad campaign that milk is healthy and it makes your bones stronger. And they got Michael Jordan with the Got Milk. It's not necessarily that it's not true, but there's like more calcium in like 8 leaves of spinach than there is an 8-ounce glass of milk. So it's one of those things where it's on a technicality true that calcium can be healthy for you, but it was like pretty much all marketing.
Fact checkers. Okay, wait. 1 cup of milk has 305 milligrams of calcium. 1 cup of spinach has 30 milligrams.
Okay, spinach. Listen, like I said, all my details are 100% accurate.
You know, there's 9 comments on the video we haven't even posted yet already correcting you on like the FDA fucking guidelines.
But I'm
just
glad.
Out front. I'm just kidding. Listen,
we're getting off topic here, okay? Big Turkey has brainwashed you into thinking that you should eat turkey.
That meat is relevant because you know what's not as, you know what's more important than meat and turkey? It's the mashed potatoes, the corn, the peas, and the stovetop stuffing, not homemade stuffing. Fuck that. Stovetop is where it's at. And the fucking sweet potatoes.
Okay.
The cranberry sauce.
That is true.
It's all better than the meat.
It is what I respect about Thanksgiving. It's that it's like a holiday around accoutrements, side dishes. You know what I mean? It's like in celebration of, my mom always did like mac and cheese with breadcrumbs. You know, she would bake it, on top. We did the homemade dinner rolls, the stuffing, the corn. So I can get with you there. But once again, I would say, tinfoil hat, it had to get there because turkey sucks. So the sides over time had to get better and better and better.
Yeah, the sides and the gravy. They needed to compensate.
Exactly.
They needed to compensate for the dry ass fucking flavorless ass meat.
Exactly. Now, yes, turkey can be delicious, but you need to like seriously risk burning your house down. Literally do the number one. Obviously, this is a meme conversation. I hope everybody understands
this is fucking serious, and I'll die on this hill.
But like, people are always like, you just haven't eaten good turkey. You got to deep fry it. And it's like, have you seen those videos where they do testing? Oh, people have done like, I don't know what type of organizations, but they do safety testing and they intentionally overfill the deep fryers just like a little bit so that when you submerge the turkey, a little bit comes out the top. And it's like 8 foot wide engulfing flame. Like as soon as any oil spills over the deep fryer and then catches fire, the thing just explodes, dude. Everyone's like,
wait, this is okay. Maybe I'm painting myself as like a clueless man-child, but fry turkey?
Yeah.
Doesn't it go in the oven? I'm confused.
So yes, but once again, people are trying to figure out how to make turkey taste good as opposed to just going to the store and buying a ham instead. So over the past few years, what's been like really becoming popular is it's literally like a giant pot, and they make these things and you set it up in your yard. You can't do this in your house, Veritas. You set it up in your yard and it's like a propane thing and a thing and a thing in a giant pot, and you literally fill this pot with oil, heat it to 9 billion degrees, very carefully lower the entire turkey into this thing, clamp it shut, and fry your turkey in oil in your backyard.
I watch a lot of blacksmithing videos, and this sounds more like someone smithing a fucking broadsword. What you're describing. Like they go out in their garage, they have fucking fans,
the kiln or whatever. Dude.
Yeah, the forge, dude.
I'm saying,
fuck?
It's crazy. Now, I've had deep fried turkey. It's obviously the superior way to eat it. It was delicious. It was juicy because none of the moisture leaves. It's all just in there. It was juicy. It was crispy on the outside. It was so good. But that's what I'm saying. Every time I bring up the turkey thing, people are like, you're not eating turkey right. You got to deep fry. And it's like, no, I don't, dude. I'm not going to risk burning down my neighborhood to fry this turkey. If you fried it, I want some. But
yeah, fuck
nah,
that,
fam.
dude. Nah, I worked it, and I also have PTSD too from working at Shmoney Baked
Schmam.
Shmoney Baked Schmam, yeah. Allegedly in Minecraft, I worked at Shmoney Baked
in
Schmam.
GTA.
Yeah, and yeah. That's like, yeah. Actually, you know what? You know what was good? They actually had like turkey breast. It was like just like boneless turkey breast, which like I don't know. It was like a football almost exactly, except like squished a little bit.
Okay.
That was just, I don't understand how they make it, and I think I'd probably rather not know. Where it's like a football that the whole thing is just a block of pure meat. That's like, was it like a paste at one point? Like, how do they do that? Right? There's no turkey
filled
breast,
into a mold,
but yet it's still
sliceable.
I'm weird though because like I'd rather have like a big pure chunk of clearly, like if you don't think about it too hard and there's like no holes for the bones or anything, like it's clearly fake. But then maybe I'm a weirdo with like low T levels or something, but like eating like chicken wings and then randomly there's just like an artery and you're like, ah, fuck. Like,
oh yeah,
no,
I don't like that either.
I'd rather just give me just the meat and let me dip it in like barbecue and ketchup. I don't need to be reminded that it was living once.
Yeah.
It needs to be slightly removed from the organs and the corpse aspect of the dead body.
Dude, what a low T cuck.
No, actually, no. I'm not even gonna say. Not even gonna say it. Never mind.
Was this a comment to you?
Yeah, it was one of those one comment, come in, get out.
Yeah,
we'll come and get banned.
Yeah,
but it was like it had to have been a meme, which is the only reason why I'm not saying it because just want attention.
Dude, I had somebody come in. I haven't heard this. I don't know about even ever. It's such low-hanging fruit. Somebody came in and he was like, oh my God. He was like, I guess all these people just don't mind listening to a guy with earrings. I'm out of here. And everybody was like, what? But he stayed. He kept being like, dude, that's so weird. I'm leaving. But he kept. So we banned him. But I was laughing hysterically while banning him because I was like, dude, it's been like since I was 15 that I heard people make fun of me because I had earrings. It was so funny, dude. It was just like, I guess all these people just don't mind that this guy's got earrings. It was so funny.
You know, if you would put a gun to my head and was like, does Jesse have earrings? Like, name one man in your life that you know that has earrings. Yeah. I wouldn't be able to point out a single person because it's like so unimportant and uninteresting. The fact that he was clearly so butthurt by it is got to be indicative of some sort of.
It's one of those things where it's like, when that happens to me, it's like, because obviously what he was getting at was like, this dude's gay. Like, you know, But it's so funny when that stuff happens because the first thing I always think about is like the call is coming from inside the house. Like, you know what I mean? Like the people in my life that have been the most ridiculously homophobic, most of them ended up coming out later in life. So like, I'm just like, dude, are you okay?
Oh my God. That reminds me.
Are you okay?
I think I've probably mentioned this quote like a million times, but it's my favorite. It's my favorite. Oh my God. Okay, cool. This is my favorite quote, and I found it right away. I almost definitely have said this before, but it just reminded me of my favorite Hitchens quote, where he said, "Whenever I hear some big mouth in Washington or the Christian heartland banging on about the evils of sodomy or whatever, I mentally enter my name in my notebook and contentedly set my watch. Sooner rather than later, he will be discovered down on his weary and well-worn old knees in some dreary motel or latrine with an expired Visa card, having tried to pay well over the odds to be peed on by some Apache transvestite." Like, fucking Jesus,
dude.
Whenever I see someone
dude.
talking about the gays and how we don't like them, you always find out that they're doing some other weird shit that they've been banging on about from. Yikes! That's a quote.
That's a quote.
That is the quote of all time.
That is a savage quote. That's
from Hitch 22, his memoir.
Oh, okay.
Which I think that's like the one book I've read like 7 times.
Yeah. Man, that was quite a diatribe from Ham v. Turkey. That was like
it's my favorite defamation case, Ham v. Turkey. Super important precedent that was set for
and I'm bringing it back up.
Avian rights. Avian rights.
I think it needs to go. I think we need to abolish.
Oh, fuck. What the hell? Someone cancel
Turkey.
Jesse. Yeah. Oh, my God. Ham v. Turkey wants to get overturned. Holy shit. You don't believe in winged suffrage or whatever? This is going off the fucking rails,
dude. This is crazy.
This
is normally what the PP is like.
This is what every episode of our fucking Patreon, the podcast Patreon, patreon.com/thepogcastpod.
Yes.
This is what it's normally like. It's just our unhinged, completely. Normally we script everything from, if you can't tell, we script everything on our podcast normally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading off script. Jesse's reading off script.
Yep.
The PP is completely
off the cuff,
unhinged, off the cuff. We just whip it out.
Yep. God. Oh man.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? It's been too long, and I wanted to start off with like a feel good story time, because it's been too long since we've done story time.
It has been too long.
And I want to get into one real quick because it's one of my favorite stories.
All right.
And I have props this time.
Is this saving an old British man's life twice?
No.
Is this ruptured spleen?
No.
Is this The Defender?
No.
Is it Rico Petrocelli?
It is.
Okay. I just
Petrocelli.
wanted to bring you guys into what I see underneath our notes, which is just a list of story times, and the names are so sick.
It's the stabbing, stomachache.
Yes.
Overdosing on sleeping pills, shotgunning a beer, bloodshed, eavesdropping on a neighbor's business call.
Oh, God.
KFC famous bowl, breaking into a house, Sun Microsystems $1 million, firing an employee, dad fight, wedding brawl, Maine Woods creature encounter, homeless guy seizure, and what we have remaining, is finger. Wait, I think I told finger cut in half incident.
Was that the Shmoney Bake Shmam one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you told that one.
All right, I got to check that off. I've got GTA 5 RP. I've got saving an old British man's life twice. The quote-unquote Defender, the BMW crash, and ruptured spleen are still... Yeah, I think Dad Fight's probably my favorite.
Dad Fight was great.
But this is another good one. Okay. So this story goes back to like 1960 something. Okay.
Whoa.
It predates me. So I've talked about before. My mom, she passed away when I was 11. She had ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. When she was a kid, she was a big baseball fan. And this girl who lived across the street was they were like friends, but like kind of like rivals. Like they didn't get along, but they they had one of those kind of relationships where, the parents were like, go hang out. And they're just like,
Yeah.
And her neighbor, one day came home with a signed baseball from Carl Yastrzemski. Okay. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, Carl Yastrzemski is like a legendary baseball player back in the day. Played on the Sox in I know the 60s, maybe 70s.
Okay.
Way back in the day. Anyway,
Kyle Stromboli, correct?
Exactly. Yeah. And now my mom, jealous, but also not to be outdone, she went and grabbed her baseball glove from the garage or this fucking shed or whatever, and she went and grabbed a Sharpie and forged her favorite baseball player, Rico Petrocelli, forged his signature on her baseball glove. And went over and was like, look what I got. And Rico Petrocelli was, I believe, a third baseman around the same time for the Red Sox.
Okay.
So then fast forward fucking 800 years, right? And I remember I was maybe 9 or 10. And my mom had told she during the last few years of her life, ALS is like this totally fucking debilitating disease. She was effectively bedridden on a ventilator. We had like 24/7 nursing. But the nurses would be there in shifts, these 10, 12-hour shifts constantly. They were almost like, some of them were like members of the family, right? Because they're like there the whole time. They would be doing the ones where it's like, hey, can you, like make a sandwich for Mike, or can you help him with this or help him with that? Now I remember my mom told one of her nurses, and I'm forgetting her name, and it's so sad. She was this super nice Jamaican lady. So nice. I want to say Noelle. Anyway, told her the story about Rico Petrocelli.
Classic.
And all I know is that like the next weekend, out of nowhere, we get a knock on the door, and guess who walks in the fucking front door? Rico
Petrocelli? What?
Apparently he was kind of local to us. She went to church with Rico Petrocelli, told him the story.
Bro.
So he showed up and just like chilled and told, sat with me and my mom and my dad for a few hours on a random like Saturday, and was just telling stories of the fucking 1960s and 70s, being a professional Red Sox player, and signed. She still had her glove with the worn down signature.
The fake
he
one?
Signed over it with a real Sharpie, actually signed over the fucking this, and this is her real glove. I mean, this thing's fucking ancient.
Dude. Signed
a couple of baseballs. So it says, to Susan with love, Rico Petrocelli, and I have one. This was like up on a shelf, in my upstairs between the two bedrooms. There's like an inbuilt shelf, and we had like this little, there's family pictures and stuff, and we have the glove. There's a baseball, this baseball, and then fucking this is a picture of Rico, me with my and one cut off shirt.
Oh yeah,
Rico Petrocelli, me and my mom. And dude, it was just such a cool day.
That is legitimately one of the most feel-good stories like I've ever heard.
Such a classy move. I like emailed him at one point because I think in his retirement, I think he did like real estate or something like that. And I found Rico Petrocelli Realty.com, and I emailed him and I like told him the story, and I just said thank you. It never heard back. Probably went to a spam mail or something.
Yeah. Dude.
But yeah, I just wanted to share the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
A feel good story that is just such a cool thing.
Dude, that's wild. What are the odds that she literally knows him? That's so crazy. Dude, it's so funny that her mom just forged the signature in a time where, like, how would she know the difference, right? She's not gonna, she can't Google it. You know what I mean? It was like, you could get away with that back then. Dude, that's crazy. That's a W story.
Yep. So I've had that shit ever since, and it's like literally hasn't moved in 10 years from that shelf.
Before the pod, he was like, I have a story time. I need props. And so he like runs away. I was like, what are you doing? I got some props. Dang. That's awesome.
There you go.
W story time.
Indeed.
Oh,
so what else we got that's not quite as WE, or maybe just as WE? I don't know.
Well, okay. So last week we didn't get a chance to talk about Twitch rivals in the Tarky space, and that was that was a kind of a W. It was kind of a W. So Twitch rivals happened. I got to play. I got to be one of the captains. I played with Valiant and Desmond, and it was super fun. So this one was like you and me. I think the very first time I played rivals, it was you, me, and Geeks. I think we did rivals, and I think that was the first Tarkov Twitch rivals.
Yep. Was that the
bingo card? Yeah, and it was like find stuff or like kill a PMC with this gun. I don't know. The bingo card was weird because it was like so RNG. Now, the rules for this were super interesting. So, this is also coming off the heels of like the streamer challenge, which obviously the criticism there was like, there was no points for any sort of PvP. This is Twitch Rivals. It's a tournament. You kind of want to get some action in there. I thought the rule set was really good and really balanced in the sense that like it did a lot of things right in the sense that you could get a ton of points in a raid, which would mean like there's the potential for like an upset, right? If the squad in the lead dies and then somebody can rack up crazy points, you want that stress, you want that tension. And it was also a really good balance of getting points a few different ways. So on streets, it was Kaban is 100% spawn. The goons are also a 100% spawn, and they spawn on the other side of the map. And then also Bird Eye's backpack, the one with like the big antenna. It's like super little, like super thin.
Yeah,
his backpack. There's 3 of those that spawn on the map in fixed locations. So, and then all of the AI on the map was replaced with raiders or rogues, but basically raiders.
Wow. Okay. Sounds super fun.
Yeah. So I was really worried about that. They dramatically decreased how many AI spawned, which was really good. So it was like you would get groups of 3 or 4 of them, but like super spread out. It wasn't toxic. I was actually really worried. So like a raider was 2 points. Killing a boss was 5 points. Killing all 3 of the goons then would be 15 points. If you found one of those backpacks, Bird Eye's backpack, and extracted with it, that was 10 points. But what was cool was that killing a PMC was 5 points. If you headshot the PMC, it was an additional 2 points. And if you got their dog tag out, it was an additional 3 points.
Okay.
So in theory, you could get 10 points off a PMC and 5 points off a boss. So it was a really good, and it was also, the PvP then was more pointed towards like skill, being able to land a headshot or being able to like secure a dog tag. That maximizes your points, right? And so it was teams of 3, I think 4 total teams. So there were only 12 players on the map at a time. And it was really good. It was really, really, really fun. It was really fun. We did really well. We came in second on that part of the tournament, on the streets part.
Okay. How many teams were there?
24. So
that I was on the list of teams.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I was just, someone's like, I had a bunch of people reach out to me like, yo, can I like, you looking for more people for your team, blah blah blah. And I'm like, what? And then I got reached out to by whoever it was
Yeah.
that I talked to, last time I did a year ago or 2 years ago for Rivals. And I was like, oh no, like I think I had to like go. I think that's when I visited my grandmother or something. I was gone for the whole afternoon. But it was like, yeah, I was on the list.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was like nice, that they included me.
They
But
reached
I'm
out
like,
for sure.
Unfortunately, not this time.
So it was, dude, it was good. I think the format was good. Like I said, we didn't PvP a whole lot. Every single raid, I think every single raid the entire time we were on streets, it was 2 hours. Desmond killed Kaban. Just every single raid we would spawn in, he would just like run over there. And then like one of us would split to go for the goons. And then we would also split for the backpacks. There were times where like I killed the goons, Desmond killed Kaban. And all three of us are wearing the 3 bird eye backpacks out. Like it was like super clean raids. It was super fun. There was tons of ways to get points. A lot of teams were like mopping up points on like PvP. There was also a thing where for every 200,000 rubles or 100,000 rubles worth of loot you extract, you get 1 point. And there were a few times where like Gingy's team found a taiga on Kaban. So that sells for like 10 million rubles. So that was like a bunch of points too.
What was the value based on?
The trader, not the flea. On the flea, they sell for like 30 million or whatever. It was interesting. It was fun. It seemed good. It seemed balanced. The only thing, and this is kind of a theme, is that the rules for some of the things kept changing. And I think that's a terrible vibe. If you're changing the rules during the tournament, it doesn't matter what the rule is. That's a really rough vibe because there's no way of disseminating that information. So like an example is somebody was like, do I have to kill the person and get their dog tag out? Or if I kill somebody and he's got some dog tags on him and I extract with those dog tags, do those points count? And at one point they were like, if you get a dog tag, it counts. And then later it came out that those points weren't counting and it was only you had to kill the person and get their dog tag out for it to count. So like, and I know that sounds little because you're just like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. All the PvP
what
you
if your
counted for.
teammate killed them?
No, you have to kill them and get the tag out. And so that might seem little, but that legitimately could alter strategies, right? If I have a dog tag and you have a dog tag and the guy I just killed has 3 dog tags, what we might do is give you all the dog tags and send one of our teammates to extract and the other 2 of us stay in. If he extracted for nothing, got no points, and then we die, but we could have used your support there as the third, that changes how stuff could go. You know what I mean? So
dude, that right there almost like disqualifies the whole fucking thing. Like
dude, it's a few stuff like that. So then we went to labs, and same thing. I was looking at the Discord where like people were asking questions and some people from like Rivals or whoever were like answering questions. It didn't say this clearly enough in the rules, in my opinion. So I don't know if this qualifies as a rules change, but I thought I saw somebody respond in the Discord thread saying it was one way, which was, so on labs, was when we went to streets and we went to labs. On streets, there were the backpacks. On labs, it's like one of those new hideout items, the like far forward digital converter. I don't know, just some miscellaneous item that only spawns on labs. But it was the same deal. There's 3. They spawn static spawns. They spawn every raid. If you get one out, it's 10 points. We all thought we were all under the impression it didn't have to be found in raid. So 2 separate times I was dying. And I knew this was going to happen. My performance on labs was abysmal. I was getting rocked left and right. I can barely hang on labs when there's at least a 50% chance the dude is like a pleb and he's trying to do his quest. But when it's full of like Tarkov streamers, I just can't hang on labs. I'm just not.
And these were private servers?
Private servers.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just not that guy, right? So I was dying left and right. I was like, so 2 raids in a row, the plan was we're going to get some of the items. We're going to give them to Jesse, and Jesse's going to get out with them and secure points because I can secure some points that way. So I had 4 of those items in my inventory when we realized they have to be found in raid. So I literally should have just sat in the corner and waited 3 more minutes for the 7-minute mark and extracted with them found in raid. But because I extracted with them 4 minutes into the raid instead of 7 minutes into the raid, the points didn't count.
Oh, wow. The fucking poor design of the found in raid system.
Yeah.
Coming once again to show another use case where bad design.
I could put up on the board. I had 4 of those items in my inventory and none of them counted. You know what I mean? So it was like, stuff like that. And I know that there were a few other teams as well. Like in the Discord, people were like, wait, what? I thought that we could, I thought we could do it. So I'm not saying we would have come in a better position, right? We didn't do well on labs. I was the anchor pulling us down, saying that, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not saying if we would have just had those items, we would have come in third. No. Because a bunch of other people, right? And this is what I've been saying. Everything that negatively affected us also negatively affected other people. So I'm not saying it would have turned the tides and we would have won. We might have even lost worse. There could have been teams with more of those items not found in raid and they would have got more points. But it's the principle of it. It's not the results. Exactly. It's the principle of just like, how can this stuff be changing? And an example, I have a few examples of me literally, like, I'm not making this up, by the way. The rules change. I was looking at the rules page and somebody was like, dude, PMC kills count for 7 points on labs. They counted for 5 on streets. They count for 7 on labs. And I'm looking at the rules. I'm like, no.
It's like the text delete.
Almost.
You see the cursor?
Dude, almost. I'm like, no, they don't. It's 5. And he's like, yes, they do. It's 7. I said, no, they don't. He's 5. He said, brother, refresh the page. Refresh the page. All right. Kills count for 7 points on labs, boys. There's no like an at everyone ping saying we updated the rules for labs. And I was like,
and even if there was, it's in the middle of a competition. Yeah. No, I'm not paying attention to like those kinds of messages and pings and shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait a minute. The question I have is, was the score automated or was it manually tracked?
It was automated.
So I have a feeling that like, here's the idea of what went down. At some point, some people came up with some rules. They handed them to programmers to program in the logic for those rules based on that guy's interpretation of a rule.
Of the rule, yeah.
And then there was some either misinterpretation or they changed their mind or maybe the actual interpretation or the implementation differed from what was intended. So then the people who are the ones who aren't doing the actual programming are like, yeah, this is the rule, without realizing that it was coded to where, the check to see that you got out with the thing, it was, and, status equals found in raid.
Yeah.
When it's like, that wasn't a part of the checklist, but that's the way it's programmed, and we can't push an update mid-tournament, so I guess that's what it is.
Yep. Yeah. That makes sense.
So they were probably figuring it out in real time, where they're like, wait, why didn't he get points? Oh, shit. How did you program it, fucking Dimitri? Oh, I did it this way. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So stuff like that was just like a little brutal. So Streets goes down. We're in second place almost the whole time. All right. The only other thing that was brutal, and once again, this definitely didn't just affect us. There's 10 minutes left. Because it's just going to be 2 hours. Like you were on Streets for 2 hours. There's 10 minutes left. I'm looking. Me and Valiant are dead. And I'm looking at the chat. And somebody's asking, like, can we queue into another raid? How does this work? And they were like, yes, you can queue into another raid because it's all automated at the hour mark. Like when we say it's done, it's just stop scoring points. So like even if you extract after that, so it's like you can get into another raid and it'll score points up until it won't. And so we were like, bet. So Desmond was like, should I stay in and milk this? And we were like, no, get out. We can get another one. We can go big. We can re-kill the bosses. We can get all the stuff. He goes, bet. He gets out. We're in queue for 7 minutes and we just fade to black. Just, it's over. Right before we faded to black, the teams that were in a raid got a 5-minute warning. In raid, it was like 5 minutes until it's done. And
so you thought you were going to get like 10 minutes, but instead you got nothing, and then everybody else got 5.
And we pulled Desmond out, stopping him from scoring points. And there were 4, 5, 6, half the teams were in the Discord going, what the hell? We were all in queue. There were like, this is private servers, right? There were like 10 teams in queue. There were enough to build 2 raids. And they just shut it down. And everybody just had to wait and watch the other teams score points. And what the reason we were salty is because we were in second place and we got booted from our queue. And the team that was in first place, Gingy's team, was one of the teams that was in. So it was like, once again, I don't think we weren't close enough to them that I think we would have gotten in first place. We were close enough where it was like an upset territory where if they had died, like if they had died early in that raid and we had gotten into our next one, maybe we would have gotten it. But like none of us were salty at Gingy or any of them because like obviously they had literally no control over that. They were just in a raid. So, but they racked up a bunch of points and that felt bad. Like the literal final raid of the streets thing, like half the teams were in the Discord being like, dude, we left the last raid because we were told that we could get into another raid. And so
when is it? God, when is it going to stop?
I know. And that
like this is like the 97th like event that was like, it was cool, but there was something that soured it.
So, now, once again, like, people are in chat are saying, of course, the way it is with everybody streaming and everybody's chats, it's super unfortunate that because Gingy's team was winning, they got a lot of shade at them. Like, people were like, it sucks. Everyone that was competing that I talked to was on the same page where it's exactly like what you were talking about. It's the principle, right? It's like Gingy's team ended up going on to win because they crushed streets and they crushed labs. Like, they were literally an S tier team. They deserved to win. So none of the competitors I talked to were like, man, we could have won. It was all just like, we thought we could get more points. We thought we could go in and get another raid. You know what I mean? It's like
you don't want to win or lose under, like, it would feel shitty if you won. It would feel shitty.
Yeah. Yeah. They were like, she was like, I don't know. Like, I didn't, she didn't get special treatment. They didn't send her into a raid. It wasn't her fault at all. It wasn't anybody's fault. But it was
a bunch of fucking antisocial weirdos
for sure,
that are the types of people that are gonna harass a chick for the failure to properly
plan a tournament
without issues.
So we come in second. We're going into the labs feeling a little down because we missed out on that, but like excited, dude. Our first 3 raids in labs, our entire team was dead in 30 seconds or less. Like, it was crazy.
Other players?
To other players. It was a mess. There was because we were still trying to figure out what our strat was. There was a raid where we split, where we were like, let's try splitting and all going for, points and stuff like that, where we split. And in a span of 15 seconds, on 3 complete opposite ends of the map, all 3 of us died to different people laying prone in the bushes in the planters. Like, we were like, I was like, I'm not scoring points this whole time. I'm not scoring points. So they're like, all right, we'll give Jesse the item, which didn't work out. But like, it was bad. I killed, I think, 2 PMCs the whole 2 hours. Dude, it was bad. Our accounts got 10 million rubles and 10,000 United States dollars at the beginning. So it was 2 hours on streets, 2 hours on labs. The last 45 minutes of labs, I was like, Desmond, bring me a gun. I have no money. Like, I lost 10 million rubles playing labs for an hour and a half.
One of us. Okay, now this is actually really interesting. Going under the assumption that the people you were playing against were legitimate players, I don't know that, I haven't heard anything or anything like that.
No, there wasn't anything weird.
If you were to go play labs all day today for a couple hours or whatever, would it have felt different?
Dude, it depends.
On these private servers with limited people, or like, I just wonder if there's, like, sometimes it just feels sus or feels shitty. Whereas in a tournament, it's easier At least for
Oh,
me,
yeah.
to like assume like, okay, yeah, they just outplayed me or
Oh,
whatever.
for sure. Yeah, no, there wasn't any time that I felt like anything was sus. It was all every single time I play labs. Like people are like, people in chat will be like, Jesse, why don't you go labs? And before I even answer, other people are like, it's because there's so many cheaters. And I'm like, I don't not play labs because there's cheaters. Like, I can't remember the last time I got into a sus encounter on labs. I'm just bad at that map. Like,
oh, okay.
Like, dude, people are good. And I'm not saying there are no cheaters on labs. Obviously there are, but I'm saying that it doesn't require a cheater to kill me, right? If Desmond runs labs for 3 hours, it's like either somebody hiding in a bush or a cheater is going to have to contend with him.
Yeah.
But like Joe Schmo labs man that plays labs 3 hours a day, he's just going to wipe me 10 out of 10 times. And so
I guess that goes to like the original question is it didn't feel different.
No.
Because I remember playing in some of these other tournaments and they were challenging in a different way.
Yeah.
That like didn't feel as bad.
Mm-hmm.
And my like objective brain wonders, is that a brain bias?
Yeah.
Or is it actually like a manifestation of a real phenomenon, which is during these tournaments there are better legitimate players as opposed to weird sus encounters?
Yeah.
Because those things just feel,
for sure, they feel different.
Yeah.
But it was just like, I get into my own head on labs. You know what I mean? It's just like there's such the stigma that it's like labs players are the best of the best. They're like the sweatiest. They're like the most min-maxy. And so a lot of times what I end up doing is like turning the aggression up. Instead of like playing slower for information, I just feel like I have to match the energy. So like most of my deaths, I'm like, I swung that too wide. Like, why didn't I just tight swing it? And then if I saw him down there, I could have gotten back to cover. I'm just like ego swinging people, trying to point fire people from too far away. I just get into my own head, and these guys are good. I can't make those mistakes and recover from them because Tweak kills me, and then freaking Trey kills me, and then this, and it's like these guys are really good players.
You need to approach it like if this was an F1 race, in that the only way you win is by going 2 miles an hour the whole way, and you hope every other driver flips their car over.
Yeah,
that's because you'll never if you go balls to the walls, you're not going to actually win on speed.
I'm not beating Max Verstappen, but if he crashes into the thing, dude, that's so true. It really is though. Like,
which just probably explains why a lot of people were prone in fucking planters.
Yeah. So Velian carried us hard on labs. Velian knows the spawns. Yeah.
Hell yeah, Velian.
Oh, dude. Literally, ask Desmond. He'll be like, Velian put up 70% of our points on labs. Like, Velian was just like...
Velian can coast on that alone for the rest of his career.
Yeah. He did team kill Desmond on labs, but he was, dude.
Well, yeah, that was just him as fucking asserting dominance, dude. That was just his Giga Chat alpha moment. 100%. That's all that was.
100%.
That's all that was, dude.
Velian knows the spawns on labs like crazy, dude. Like, he just knows he's crazy. He spawned, you jump up on a planner, alt peek this tiny weird thing, and he's like, oh, guys, found there, boom, dead. And kills, even if you didn't get headshots, or even if you didn't get the tag, were 7 points. So he so with me, I killed 2 PMCs in 2 hours. So that's 14 points. Those were all the points I put up on the board. So it was effectively those two as a 2-man playing in a tourney against threes. We came in 10th in the labs portion. 10th out of 25. So top half was crazy to me. It was basically them two versus the world. So, and then this was super weird, the way they did the tournament money. So it was a $50,000 prize pool, right? They took $20,000 off the top. Then they took that $20,000 and they split it in half. And what placement you got on streets when it was all said and done won you a certain amount of money from this 10K. And then the placement you got on labs won you a certain amount of money from this 10K. And then they added the scores together, and this was the final score. And that final score netted you money from the 30K that was left over. Yeah. It was very weird. It was very weird. But I think it just got more people in the money. You know what I mean? It was weird. But we came in 5th overall. So 2nd on streets, 10th on labs, 5th overall out of 24 teams. It ended up being great. So, and then
I'm really late on. Was really late on pulling this.
You need to pull that up on your stream deck.
Yeah, I do.
And then there was the show match. All right.
There's more?
Yeah. So they were like, all right, after the tourney, we're going to do a show match. It's one shoreline raid. And
what's the fuck? What the fuck is a show match?
It's just like,
what does that word mean?
I don't know.
Is that a word? Am I being stupid?
I mean, it's just like a show match. I don't know.
That's not a word. Showcase? The show.
I mean, they call it
1v1 but co-op show match? What the fuck is entertainment and dance program where the audience participates in order to decide if the participants remain on the program or not? It's a TV show.
It wasn't that.
What the fuck is it's an Argentinian television program? What is a show match?
It was like a final showdown, but they called it a show match. I don't know why, but
was that just bad translation?
Maybe. But they called
it like the final remaining like top players or something?
Well, dude, let me tell you. Let me take you on a journey of the rules changing. Okay? 5 days before.
I'm ready.
5 days before the tournament. I get asked. I say yes, I want to be a captain. I ask Desmond and Velian. They say they're in. We're good. They send me the rules. Okay? The reason I have proof that they changed the rules is because the day they sent me the rules, I took a screenshot of the show match and sent it to Desmond and was like, yo, this looks sick. So I've got a screenshot.
I don't know okay.
I'm not, it's not worth sending. I'm just saying that I
need to know what a show match looks like.
This isn't me remembering. This is what the rules were. One member from each team ranked 1st to 16th place. Team members will choose which of their team will participate in the show match. Total of 16 people. One raid on shoreline, 30 minutes. All players spawned in. When entering the raid, this is basically based off one of their old pre-wipe events, one of my favorite ones. When entering a raid, a toxin debuff is placed on the player, which kills them after 7 minutes. An airdrop, which drops a single stimulant to remove that debuff and adds a new debuff, that basically resets it. There's bosses, like multiple bosses are going to spawn on shoreline. And airdrops come in cycles where there's 16 players, and the first time airdrops come in, it only drops 10 airdrops. So like you could try and play for one of the ones nobody gets, or you could PvP over one of the airdrops. And then basically it keeps doing that. A few minutes later, 4 airdrops show up. And then a few minutes later, 3, and then a few minutes later, 2, and then a few minutes later, 1. And it's basically like who can survive. The guy that survives wins. Is basically, if I could read the rest of the rules, but
the airdrops, that must be so tough. Like if there's one airdrop, it's like you don't want to go and lie next to the box. Like,
well, but that's the thing is that like there was 10 the first round. It was literally 10 planes in the sky, and it dropped 10 airdrops. But there's 16 players, so it's like not every drop was contested.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's only like the last one. It's kind of like an alternate circle where it's like the timer's ticking down. You're both gonna die. You both have to run for the box.
Exactly.
Or it's like chicken.
It is, because you could camp out the box, but if the other guy that you're camping out doesn't go to the box until there's only 10, 15 seconds left, you have to get close enough to the box after you kill him to freaking get the antidote.
What happens if you both just sit there and wait and like wait for the other person? It's like you don't hit the brakes when you're doing the chicken to drive off the cliff, and then both people just drive off the cliff.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then like, so, I guess that's why it's a show match.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool because I really loved that event. They did this as a pre-op event, I think last year in like 2022. And I love that concept of it forced people to move around because like we're all dying. And if you get a stim, you know what I mean? You can delay your death.
What a metaphor for life, if you think about it.
You know, at the end of the day, we're all dying.
Tarkov show match is just a metaphor for life, if you think about it. It sucks and is toxic and cancerous, and the rules keep changing along the way, and then you fucking die to some shit that you had no control over.
Yep. So true. Okay, so that was the rules. But then, the day before the tournament, I was talking with Berkey and Nixia, and Berkey was like, isn't it crazy that this show match, all 72 of us are spawning in the same map? I go, whoa. You didn't read the rules. And she goes,
rules, dog.
She goes, Nixia just told me this. And I was like, Nixia, what the hell? Refresh the page. Sure enough.
16 gets multiplied.
The new rule says all participants from all teams are spawning in one single shoreline raid. And the same thing is happening. It's just going to be a bunch of airdrops. We're all infected, but it's a free-for-all. Here's the important thing. It's changed. All of you, the show match, all the money is already split up. This is like its own prize pool of $500. It's every man for himself. 72
Wait,
players.
There was a prize pool?
Yeah, it's like $500.
See, I thought, what the fuck? Okay, I came to the understanding of that a prize match was just like an exhibition for fun, but then as soon as you now tell me there's a prize pool, now it's no longer a show match, whatever the fuck that means, and sounds like it's not a show.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
And I was like, surely something is awry. And she goes, I know. I literally contacted them and was like, are you saying all 72 of us are spawning in the same raid? And they were like, yes. So then it was like, oh, damn. Everybody was like, yo, Nikita's been saying for years, like, dude, we can fit 60 players in a raid. And everyone's like, yo, this is them testing that in private servers for the show match. A little bit of money. It doesn't, like, nobody's going to care if it's a cluster. And everybody was like, oh my God, that's going to be insane.
Oh no. And what you mean to say is they fucking split it up and it was, what was it, like 5 raids or something?
Ding, 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 ding. We all literally queued up. We all left our Discord calls because we didn't want to be cheesy. And we all queued up. Frames win games. We all queued up. We spawn in, dude. I'm alone.
You're ready for Normandy.
I'm ready for freaking Normandy. Look around. I don't see anyone. I don't hear anyone. I'm like, chow, what's happening here? I was like, nobody's moving. Everyone's trying to figure out what's happening. I go over the hill. And then I go over this hill. And then I go over this hill. I haven't heard a single thing. I was like, what? So I look up at the Discord. I'm like, are they about to call it? And I'm dead. And I was like, okay. So then I was like, great, honestly. So I pulled up Desmond and Valiant's stream and I just watched. And it was absolutely that. It was 72 players. It was a free-for-all. But they just spawned us in 5 different raids.
So it wasn't a free-for-all. It was 7 different free-for-alls.
But it was all scored based on, like, if you extracted, how many PMCs you killed, how many bosses you killed, how many scavs you killed. So, like, every raid had a winner that, like, extracted, but only one person won the show match. Actually, technically, first and second tied. They tied for first with the exact same points. But it was like 5 or 6 people extracted, but only these 2 won because they tied. Dude. It was like, I legitimately was looking at the Discord. I was so convinced it was all 72 of us. I was waiting for the message being like, we messed up. We're going to kill everybody and we're going to try it again. Dude, it was such a cluster.
How could they consistently get every aspect?
I don't know. Now, we're obviously memeing on the mistakes that were made here. It was legitimately, and this sentiment was shared by pretty much everybody, it was the best Twitch Rivals Tarkov they've ever done. It feels like the rule set, even though some of the small things changed, was finally in the perfect realm of like, if we're going to compete in a Tarkov setting, this is how you do it. You know what I mean? Like, they like some of the things that were like surprises but W's, like the fact that they replaced all the scavs with raiders, but they didn't keep it at the same spawn rate, right? Like you can kill 80 scavs on a streets raid. They turned down the spawns so that the raiders weren't all over the place. They put the goons and Kaban on opposite sides of the map, meaning that the map flow on streets, you know, helped. They increased the PvP points on labs, right? If it's going to be labs, that's the PvP map. They made PvP even more effective. So like there were a lot of little things here that told me that they really were finally figuring out how to do something like competitive. And I don't just mean competitive as like who wants to be the best. Like you want PvP in something like this, because it was like we talked about a lot when we were talking about the streamer challenge. There were people who were like, this is perfect for Tarkov because Tarkov's hardcore milsim, like PvP shouldn't be rewarded. And whatever. In this, you want PvP, right? It's not 1,500 streamers. It's private servers. These are the top streamers. Like, you want to watch, from a viewing perspective, you want to watch these guys fight, right? You know what I mean? So they really nailed it. It was just the fact that it really just came down to, like, how do you not know what the rules are before it starts? And if you don't know, you don't start it. I'd rather have just started 2 hours later and gone 2 hours later. You know what I mean? So it's like, if they can just take that piece of feedback, like if you send out to the captains a website with the rules on it, you can't change them from that point on. Because I didn't know to refresh the stream to know that PvP counted for more points on labs until somebody told me to, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like that information can't be disseminated that way.
And I remember like at one point during the bingo thing, how there were so many people accessing it that it like kept going down. So I was like afraid to refresh it.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's probably a completely separate issue, but at the same time, it's like, I'd almost like screenshot it, like close my browser, open it up in like Paint.
Yeah.
Just have it there. Like,
yeah. So like, that's really like all of the mistakes come down to that one single piece of feedback. The tournament was run well. It wasn't too long. It wasn't too short. It had some fun in it with the attempt at some crazy show match. And once again, what the show match would have been fun if it had been communicated effectively. The people that were winning, the people that, you know, it was a 30-minute shoreline raid. The people that were extracting at the 2-minute mark were like, man, I thought I'd see more people. Like, we were all in here. Like, they still weren't even aware. You know what I mean? It was crazy. So it all of the negativity, like all of that stuff comes down to the one piece of feedback, which is like, when you get to the point where you send that rule set out, it cannot change. And do whatever you need to do, Twitch Rivals or BSG devs. I don't really know who the hell is responsible for all this. That you have those ducks in a row before you send the rules out. If that one thing happens, do that Rivals again tomorrow, and it's the best tournament ever. Like it was so good. It was so fun. It had so much potential. And so like everybody, I mean, literally so many of the contestants were like, dude, some bumps in the road, but this was like the best Tarkov Rivals by far. They just got, man, you just can't change the rules of a tournament mid-tournament.
Yeah, and this, I mean, it just has, it smells exactly like my experience in the software world, where it's a disconnect between the people who set requirements for things and the people who implement the things that which is something that I've been saying forever now about the game proper.
Yeah.
Where this kind of like reinforces that, like, you just have to be very, very particular and careful and specific about how you define things, about the requirements, about the rules, about the logic, about the edge cases. You need to ask yourself all of the, how can this be abused? How can this be manipulated? If this was for life or death situation, how would I bend the rules?
Yeah.
If I was here to try to take advantage of this? What would I do with this? Is there a way to exploit this? Is there a way to misunderstand this? And you go back and forth and you address it a million different ways. And then you ensure that the wording, that there's a one-to-one correlation between the wording you have in the rules list, the requirements given to the coders, and the fucking lines of code that they write.
Yeah. Dude, legitimate piece of feedback for the rivals is there should be a meeting, a 20-minute meeting with the captains. You know what I mean? Like, everybody hops on.
Where they ask questions. Great fucking...
Yeah. Like how crazy would that be if it was just like literally 20 minutes? I don't know how the rivals works. Maybe it's one person from rivals, one person from whatever game, because they do like Rust rivals, whatever. You know, so one person from Tarkov, one person from rivals, and the captains. And it's like, we got 30 minutes. Do you have any questions about the rules? Because not only does that settle some things, but people who have questions about the rules would then like, I might have that question, but way later in the tournament. So like they bring it up and I go, oh, I didn't even think about that. And then we get the answer, we get it direct. Stuff like that would just make it better. But if this is what needs to happen on the road to them finally figuring this out, I'm glad that, I was able to participate. It was a fun day. We came in 5th, which means we won some money. And it was interesting. It was fun.
I just hope in like 2027. Like, honestly, this was the best rivals yet. Really, a bunch of hiccups.
Yeah, dude.
They really need to, probably iron out some of these things, and hopefully
we're
in the
on
future,
the road to.
We're on the road to fucking, and here I am like. I remember back in my day, things were fucked just like this. Nothing changed.
There was a bingo card.
Oh, my spine hurts. Fuck. Oh god.
Oh my god, dude. So good. I'm super interested to see what, there's going to be arena at Twitch Rivals, and arguably, hopefully it'll be an easier time, you know what I mean, to create a tournament in the tournament.
They won't have to hack together a bunch of fucking rules. That can kind of just be like, here you go.
Exactly. So that was Rivals once again. I hope if there's anybody from BSG or from the Rivals team listening, it was a W. It's just like, that's the big piece of feedback. We just have to make sure the rules are set in stone. And it's okay if mistakes happen, but just like, how do we get those mistakes to happen before the tournament starts? And so something like that, like a meeting, is an opportunity for like I didn't think about that. Let me get that figured out before the tournament starts, A few other tiny little Tarkov things, but before we do, I want to take a second and thank the sponsor for tonight's episode, and that is HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you can farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip the trip to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. Dude, we were talking about this the other day. Some of the seasonal recipes that they throw on. One of the cool things about HelloFresh is that there's like 30 or 40, 45 weekly recipes, which affords them to sneak in like 5 or 6 super seasonal ones, like some soups, some fall soups. They even do like an all-in-one like Thanksgiving turkey box dinner thing. Should be ham. We talked about that earlier, whatever.
They didn't wait. Do they have the forge, the blacksmithing forge, the iron outside cauldron, whatever the hell that comes with it, or is it just easy?
Yeah,
is it just easy to convenient to cook?
Yeah, easy and convenient. So we love HelloFresh.
Bro, I like, after we talked about it over the last couple weeks, I've been I keep telling my wife we need to hook ourselves back up and literally just set up everything again. And my good Lord, like, there's just so many amazing things on the menu that, like, normally with these kinds of things, I'm a picky eater.
Same.
And it's always like, that looks good except for this one thing that I don't like on it, or whatever, or
dude.
And everything, like, I'm literally scrolling through here and I see brown sugar bourbon pork chops, 1-pan sweet and spicy cashew pork tacos,
those are
pork
so good,
tenderloin
actually.
with creamy pan sauce, 1-pan trattoria or trattoria. I'm not sure. All the Italians are gonna mauled. Tortellini bake.
Oh, that one's so good. Yeah, I'm the same way, dude. Normally when there's stuff like this, it's always like, this is good, that's good, but I'm going to throw away the vegetable because I don't like that. Or you know what I mean? Or like there's always just like one thing. Of course, there's types of food that I don't like on the menu, but if it's a type of food I like, everything on that dish is delicious. Yeah, it's so good. There's all sorts of different stuff, especially around the holiday time. They have a whole like separate menu where you can do charcuterie boards, desserts, all sorts of like appetizers or additional food, or even just like additional stuff for like lunches. They've got recipes that are easy, ready to go in 15 minutes. They've got, protein plus. They've got keto friendly. Whatever you want, they got it. It's amazing. We've used it for the longest time. It's delicious. So you can go to hellofresh.com/pogcastfree and use code pogcastfree for free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That is free breakfast for life at hellofresh.com/pogcastfree with code pogcastfree. So yeah, thank you so much to HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit, for sponsoring this episode. God dang, look at that. Tangy plum Dijon glazed chicken. Hot!
Oh my God, dude. Now I'm hungry.
Yep. My bueno.
They always do this to me, dude.
Okay, so speaking of arena.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. HelloFresh.
HelloFresh. Nah, we're gonna get freaking.
No, we did it so tone deaf that there's no way it could be confused with any other brand.
Tarkov tweeted out the other day, Battlestate Games will make its esports debut at DreamHack Hanover this December with the first ever tournament for the new hardcore shooter game on site. 6 pro teams will compete on a dedicated stage for a prize pool of 100,000 euros.
There was actually quite a bit of, and by quite a bit, I mean 4 people yesterday were, how do I I'm trying to figure out the best way to categorize this. It seemed like there was potential, not drama, but like questions around why no one in like none of the big name NA folks apparently knew about this. Like they weren't invited or they weren't asked. And I just recall like when we first started talking about this at one point, weren't there like the beta testers from Arena was like some random like esports teams that like
Veritas Pro.
I assume
they did one.
Okay.
They did one thing where they like brought the Veritas Pro team in, let them play it like all day, run a few little mini tournaments, and then gathered their feedback.
Yeah. So the question is like, do we know who's taking part? Is it a bunch of like, is this like Cloud9 versus fucking Nip versus Virtus Pro, like a bunch of CS teams that are now going to play Arena, or is it like Team Landmark versus?
My understanding is that it's the first one. It's like they got in contact with some pro teams in and around. Because Hanover, is that in Germany?
Yeah, that's the event that
that you were potentially
originally gonna potentially maybe do like the opening ceremony, fucking guitar concert thing.
Yeah. They haven't like named the teams, so I definitely don't know if it's like Cloud9 or whatever. But they said, 6 pro teams. The official blog post on their website says 6 professional teams will compete on a dedicated stage. Players will take part in gladiatorial battles.
With like fucking swords and shit.
Yeah. So like then they end this with a quote from Nikita. We are excited about Escape from Tarkov Arena in Germany to demonstrate our ambition, taking esports endeavors to the next level. Developing an esports title has always been a part of the EFT Arena roadmap, and the immense popularity and community demand have proven that we are on the right track. We see DreamHack Hanover as a great stage for us to showcase the new title and an opportunity to engage and grow our community with esports and other experimental activities on site. Experiential. not experimental. So I don't think that this is a bad thing. I don't know. I haven't heard any other streamer. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if streamers that live in Europe had casually mentioned, like, man, I wish I could play in the tournament. But I don't think there's like proper drama. But I have also gotten that where people are like, isn't it freaking crazy that BSG's not even inviting anybody? And it's like, dude, this is marketing. You're going to play Arena because you love Tarkov. They want new people to come in and play Arena. So they're
trying to dip into the CSGO Valorant
So
market.
They're going to reach out to these esports teams and be like, hey, we're going to put up a ton of money. Obviously, it's not going to be a big deal because this isn't a game you guys have grinded thousands of hours. Would you be down to come in, play? We'll give you some time beforehand. You'll get to play it. You'll do the tourney. It'll be a big thing. They get some money. Like, to me, that's marketing. That's not bad. Of course, if I lived in Hanover, I'd be like, man, I wish they invited me to, do a team. So I don't think it's crazy, but like, I don't think there's drama. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either. I think there was just a couple people that basically said that they kind of interpreted it as like, don't you see this as kind of like a
slap in the face.
Slap in the face. I couldn't remember the fucking phrase. So thank you.
Slap on the nuts.
And I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, I kind of don't. I don't see it like that. I just assumed it was the same like kind of esports folks that they got involved last time around, and or
I don't know.
I also highly doubt that, like, if they were to ask, let's say 6 teams, 5 people on each team, like if they were to ask 30, the top streamers, like 6 of them would be willing to go to fucking Germany.
Could go to Germany, like.
And I was panicking because I had to, like, my passport's long expired.
Yeah.
So like I'm actually glad I almost went like the expedited route, which can get kind of expensive. And I'm glad that like I didn't like go that far until I got the email being like, yeah, never mind.
Yeah. So I don't know. It seems not crazy to me. Once again, like you said, most of the top players wouldn't be able to come, because a lot of the maybe way out in Russia people wouldn't be able to go. A lot of the NA people wouldn't be able to go. There's a lot of EU people that could go, I'm sure, and I hope that they go to DreamHack. They could probably play Arena and have a good time. But I don't know. I get it as like a marketing thing.
I would also love to see. I could be wrong on this, but like my instincts are telling me that if you had like a bunch of Cloud9 dudes that are all like CS pros or whatever, have them play Arena for 6 months, and then you put them up against like, Team Landmark, Team G, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I have a feeling like they would fucking own the Tarkov OG streamers. Like,
yeah,
it's like playing like, and maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. It's like a different.
It's a different game.
It's a different. Not even that. It's just like a different mindset. It's like,
sure.
we've got practice at 4.
For sure.
We got scrims at 7. Do you fucking take your protein shakes and do your, leg day was yesterday, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of different.
For sure.
So, I don't know.
For sure. I don't know. So, yeah. So, that's the, yeah, I don't know. That's the tourney. I think it'll be cool. I don't know where DreamHack is. It's like the 14th through the 17th of December. I'm really hoping that we have Arena by then. I'm really hoping that at least they're rolling out waves before then. Please. But we'll see.
I just went onto fucking arena.tarkov, whatever. Didn't you say you had to like click on something?
Yeah, you gotta log in.
So I logged in, and then now what? Oh, it says congratulations, you got the game.
Yep.
I love like. Don't you fucking hate that when you like don't see the thing until you're like finally get someone on like customer service, and they're like, okay, how can I help you? And you're like, I just saw. Never mind. Fucking.
Yep. So by the way, that'll be the last Tarkov thing that we talk about. Once again, I'm just trying to spread this news as much as possible. If you have the Edge of Darkness version of the game, you got Arena for free. And what you want to do to tell the Arena servers that you have claimed your Arena game is go to arena.tarkov.com, log in with your Tarkov credentials. It will say, congratulations, you got the game. And that is how you basically activate your free Arena, which makes you eligible for them to pull your name for the waves that they do when they start releasing it. So if you pre-ordered Arena on the site, then obviously you already have the game. But if you have Edge of Darkness, if you bought it in 2016 and you're kind of interested in Arena right now, you gotta make sure to go to arena.tarkov.com and log in. Do it.
Bro. Sorry, I'm like getting fucking text messages from my sister. She's like doing some fucking random shit tomorrow for like our family Thanksgiving. She needs like a bunch of fucking fun facts that people don't know about you.
Yeah.
You want to know what my 3 fun facts are?
What are your 3 fun facts?
Because I'm like, I can't think of the 4th. I'm fucking busy right now. Stop texting me. Number 1, I won a Michael Jackson dance competition at a bar.
I'd pay anything for the tape.
That tape exists on Facebook somewhere.
Oh God!
I just continuously. I can only moonwalk.
Yeah.
Like knowing that now and then thinking back, and you think about all the different dance moves that Michael Jackson has. I suddenly was like, I got panicked because if I got asked now to do it, it'd be like no fucking chance. Like, are you kidding? Yet somehow I ended up on stage at the Bourbon Cowboy in fucking New Orleans, Louisiana. I just moonwalked back and forth a bunch. And I'm pretty sure the woman at the microphone who's like emceeing said I got great moves for a white boy.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So that's number 1. Number 2 was that I've owned over 25 vehicles.
Jesus.
And honestly, that was true. Like, I've only had one car for like the last like 5 years. So really it was like between the age of 16 and like 26, I owned over 25 vehicles. And then number 3 was I was the founder and vice president of my college Republicans, like the college Republican.
Oh.
If you can fucking believe it. There were different times. Different times.
Yo. If only 19-year-old Veritas could debate 30-year-old Veritas.
Dude, it's like I'm like unrecognizable.
The lore is rich with this one.
I have a video on Facebook where all you see is a stream of urine on a Hillary Clinton for president sign in Washington, D.C. where I was down there for CPAC in college. It's just a different time. It's a different time, dude. And you know what the craziest thing is too is now again we're not going to get like political or anything, you know, and we're not going to bring politics in, but I will say that during that period of my life, I was the most fervently outwardly loud about politics, while simultaneously it was the peak of my like loudness and the fucking valley of my actual knowledge on anything.
Yeah. That's college for a lot of people. No matter what they believe, you know what I mean, or what their politics are. That's often our peak loudness and valley as far as emotional intelligence, or any sort of intelligence. Wow. All right, so that's all the Tarkov stuff.
Bro, you could pay $5 to upgrade from your region to Europe on this website.
Yep.
What the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know.
Upgrade my region. I'm getting European EU citizenship and Tarkov for $5, boys. That's all it takes.
I actually don't know what that means. Mine is other. I don't know what that means.
You don't identify as a European or a
exactly
European on a sign. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, so that's all the Tarkov stuff. I don't know. Anything else you got? We got the vid coming, the Billy Mitchell vid.
Yeah, 3 hours 49 minutes is the final runtime.
Damn. How do you feel about your Billy Mitchell doc being longer than the extended cut of a Lord of the Rings movie?
I'm used to. There's a dick joke in there somewhere, but then I thought of extended cut, and I realized I didn't feel comfortable anymore making the connection. So yeah. No, but overall, I mean, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I got a couple last little dot my I's, cross my legal T's.
Yeah.
I did. I think I am going to do like a little bit of a watch party where it's a almost 4-hour video that I need to. Even though I've seen every moment of it 9 billion times, once I render out the final thing, I need to watch it from start to finish. Otherwise, I will not feel comfortable that there's not just like a 10-minute red screen in the middle or something. You never know. Because like one time I fucked up an edit and like uploaded it without watching it like 5 years ago, and I'll never trust ever again.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna do for my patrons of the like my personal Patreon. I think I'm gonna do a watch party at some point, probably next week sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe hop in Discord and just have like a. I don't even know if I'll be able to like. Can you control who can get into like a call or a room based on roles or something?
Yeah, you can do like Patreon only roles in the Discord, and then only they can enter these rules, and then you can do the they're called like stages or something, where like you can only designated people can speak, but anybody can, anybody that has the right role can hop into that room and like watch or something. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, well then I'll probably end up doing that. So that'll just be fun to go through it and give an early preview. And then still trying to iron out we were talking earlier, some of the final like thumbnail title ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the video that has the title you want, was that like a big video?
So the funny thing is I had thrown around the idea of, and I'll just fucking say it, was the longest con in video game history.
Yeah.
And I actually reached out to my buddy Carl Jobst, who is currently being sued by Billy Mitchell. And we're homies. And I basically was like, yo, what do you think about this idea? And he's like, dog, I have a video with that title. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably where it got into my head, like seeded. Like, oh, well, because some things kind of like write themselves.
For
like,
sure.
Like the King of Con.
Yeah.
Is like a documentary that like one of the dudes made. It's a wild. He's one of the eccentric kind of crazy guys in the middle of the story. But like, that some of them kind of write themselves.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, but that actually wasn't even about Billy Mitchell. That was about Todd Rogers. The guy, the dragster guy. I don't know if you ever heard about that whole thing. Dragster. You know that old Atari game Dragster. You probably have like maybe seen it once. I've
probably seen it. Yeah.
It's like literally there's just like a top and bottom split screen with just like 9-pixel little dragster, and it's like you just drive, shift, whatever.
Gotcha.
Well, he allegedly got a 5.51. Which is like the record from like fucking 30 years ago or whatever. Well, it was found out a long time ago that was it's impossible.
Oh, I think you've mentioned this. Yeah. It's like literally impossible.
Yeah. you know, like people have been doing it for 30 years, like speedrunners or whatever, and like 5.57, I think, is like the fastest like possible. And they've even broken down like frame by frame the code and everything. And it's like, you know, but he came up with some whack story like, yeah, I changed gears before the green light and popped the clutch and blah. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? This isn't Fast and Furious. It's Atari. Like, you didn't do any of the things. Anyway, but he also like self-input in like hundreds of other scores for himself, that most of which were impossible. You know, like second place was like 800,000 points, and he's like, yeah, I got 10 million points. like literally like that off. And a lot of the points were like, he'd get like, you know, 1,500,097, and it was like, you can only get increments of 50 points. Like, you know, so, and then like when confronted in a bunch of interviews, he's basically like, okay, fine, then like I'll just remove it. It's like, well, wait a minute, right? Like, that's
funny.
You know, like, oh, we found your DNA on the dead guy from 5 years ago. Okay, well then I'll fucking tell his wife sorry.
Dude.
It's like, well, no, dog. Wait, what do you mean? Yeah, you got to answer for this. That doesn't make you seem more legitimate if you're like, well, then fine, take them off.
That doesn't. If anything, that makes me more mad. You know what I mean? It's like the YouTube commenters who are like, I literally don't agree with a single thing you've ever said about the game. And I'm like, what do you disagree with me on? And they're like, well, I agree that this should happen. I just disagree that this. It's like, you're already shut up. Like, already shut up. You can't say literally don't agree with a single thing you've said and then start your next message with what you agree. It's like, I asked because I wanted to know. You can't do that. Oh.
And fun fact too, Todd Rogers was the judge that adjudicated Billy Mitchell's scores in question.
Well, of course, naturally.
But yeah, so the longest con in video game history was his
Carl Jobs
video about Todd Rogers. He's like, yes, I'm like, fuck. Well, that's awkward. Imagine going to someone and be like, yo, I'm gonna name my kid fucking, you know, some very specific, unique name that you named your kid, and you'd be like,
what do you think, man?
Yeah. Yo, I'm gonna start a Twitch channel. I'm thinking JesseKazam with 2 M's. Like,
yeah.
You'd be like, what, bro?
What? Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
So
I played a new game yesterday. It was like a one and done. I was done in about 4.5, 5 hours.
I saw you playing it. I was lurking for a bit.
It was honestly a really, really good game. Really good game.
It's called Viewfinder, right?
Called Viewfinder. Yeah, it was the game that a lot of people saw the kind of like the core conceit, like the core mechanic of the game was like in a tech demo, you know, last year, a year before, whatever, where basically like you can walk over. It's got kind of like the Witness-esque, kind of cartoony, but still really beautiful, surreal vibes. And you'd like, you know, walk over with a handheld little Polaroid camera and go take a picture. It spits out the Polaroid, and you take the Polaroid and you like hold it up in front of you and you press a button, and then like it inserts the thing you just did, like in the environment.
Yeah.
In a completely seamless way. And then that's like the mechanic for solving puzzles.
Yeah. So if you need like a bridge over here and you see a bridge over there, you could take a picture of this bridge, put it where you want it with the picture, and then just it's there now. It just inserts into the environment.
Yeah, and there's some cool stuff you can do with perspective, you know, because you can take the picture and like go like this, so that, you know, like there's a thing that has like batteries, and you put the batteries on these little charging plates, and if like you can see on the other side of a wall, like a kind of a mesh wall, you can see there's a battery. You take a picture, and then you like take the picture, rotate it, put it above you, and then like place it, and the battery just falls, right, because of gravity. It's very similar to The Witness and a lot of other really well-designed puzzle games, in that like it introduces and explains a mechanic and then just shuts the fuck up.
Yeah. And
slowly builds on the mechanic in ways that are increasingly more clever.
Yeah.
To the point where there's like, you know, and then it's like, well, then the first puzzle is for the first few minutes, I forgot that there was a camera, because for the first few minutes it was just go pick up a Polaroid and then do it.
Oh yeah.
You know, which really limits the constraints of the puzzles.
Yep.
But then later on, there's like a photocopier. So now you take a Polaroid and you put it in the photocopier, and now it's like, I just duplicated the thing. And then there's, then it gives you a camera. And then there's like stationary camera. So then it's like, you fucking take the picture with the photocopier next to the stationary camera. And then now you've just duplicated those two. And each one has a certain amount of either like print copies or like film.
Oh.
So like using that logic, and it doesn't explain anything. It just slowly lets you like deduce things.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite element of puzzle games is when they just make you feel like a fucking genius.
Yeah.
And part of that is designing something that is like logical and intuitive without hand holding.
Yep.
If they explained every mechanic along the way, it would be so much less satisfying. But
and
also
the reverse is true as well, where if it's like after 7 years, somebody just finally found out that if you just stand on this pixel and press this combination of keys, it unlocks the next thing. It's like that
arbitrary.
The scale of like the harder it is to deduce, the better you feel about finding it. That has diminishing returns where it just becomes arbitrary and unfun because it's unrealistic to ever deduce it.
Yeah. And this is actually a really interesting game in that like very few games like this really give you. They don't lend themselves well to having multiple solutions. But I actually feel like there were times where I would have an idea and I'd be like placing the photo, and as I place the photo and we'll go to jump onto the thing I just placed, I would look over and be like, oh, there's another thing over there I didn't see. It was like, that's probably how they intended it. But it was just open-ended, when they add interesting mechanics, like you could cut a hole through the wall or take a picture of a bridge and then rotate it like this. So then you have a ramp, then you go over the wall, versus take a picture of yourself and then put the fucking photo over here. So then when you place it, you like teleport.
Whoa.
Which is like such not an intuitive thing, but yet somehow it's one of those things that like, I feel like it was a stretch. Like at the same time, my brain was like, this isn't going to work. And then I did it and it worked. And I was like, whoa. Because you would think that like, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
It seemed like a stretch, but when it works, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to be like, here's a hint for how you don't get it.
Yeah.
Because then it just loses the satisfaction. But when I think, if this was my game, this is what I would do, but this isn't going to work. Click. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, it worked. I love it. So whenever I play games like this, it really just makes me want to make my own fucking puzzle game, dude.
Yeah.
I want to make my fucking puzzle game. I want to make my fucking body flight game. I was talking about this on stream.
QWOP, but not AIDS.
QWOP, but not AIDS. Yeah, which actually I was talking about on stream the other day, and I could tell that like, I think a lot of people kind of didn't quite get what I was getting at with that. Like they thought it was like memey, or like that the controls were like purposefully meant to be confusing or weird, but this was from the episode on the PP that never will see the light of day because it didn't have audio.
Yeah.
Where I went into detail for like 40 minutes about my game idea that I'll give like a fucking 11-second elevator pitch on. But effectively, a bunch of people have seen my body flight videos, which is like indoor skydiving, which is basically, it's the part of skydiving when you go skydiving where you're free falling.
Yeah.
It's not the part in the plane and not the part under parachute. It's the actual like free flying. And this is what I was looking for like an Unreal Engine developer, because I want a little simple proof of concept where I can test out the controls. Because a huge part of it has to do with the controls, where I imagine like a 2D puzzle platformer, where you're using wind currents, whether it's fans or natural. You know, I can imagine it being like this industrial neon city thing, but then also I can see there being like a canyon wind current, you know, whatever level.
Yeah.
But like to where you're controlling your body. So for example, you're flying, you know, like this is the free fall position where you see a skydiver, they're always, you know, falling through the sky like this, right? When you're flying, if you push your legs out, what that does is it provides more surface area, more lift here, which lifts here, which tilts and makes you go forward. So if you bend your legs, you go back. Legs out, in. Bend your legs, go back. And I didn't have this little model during that conversation. Now, if you push your arms out and bend your legs, you'll go back really fast.
Yeah.
Push your legs out, arms in a bunch. You'll go forward really fast. Now, if you bring your legs in a lot, put your arms out a lot, and like kind of de-arch your torso, you transition over into either back flying or you can fly vertically in like a seated position, which is fucking hard to do with this model. It kind of sucks. I got it at IKEA. Or you can fly vertically, head down, in kind of like a position like this. But all of these things have different fall rates, which means like different speeds that the air would have to be to keep you level. So there could be like different sized fans with different speeds. And I have a million like puzzle cool things, but the most important aspect of this whole idea of this game is the satisfying movement.
Yeah, the manipulating.
You could get the controls right and just being like, it would look so sick to be like fucking doing all these cool flips and manipulating the body to
it makes a lot of sense that it lends itself well to a puzzle environment because, like you said, you're basically just introducing a core concept and then letting the player then run with it. And that core concept is like, this is how you fly. When you move this way, it does this thing. When you move this way, it does this thing. And then you allow that exploration of like, if I do this, this is helpful in these types of situations. If I do that, it's helpful in these types of situations. So it like lends itself well. But I remember what you saying is like controlling that is hard because if you're belly down flying and you can kind of grasp, you know, this is my first one arm, this is my other arm, this is my leg, this is my other leg, so I can manipulate those. But if you flip on now you're on your back, now the controls are, it's just getting the controls down was what you're talking about. And it makes sense that that's like a hard thing to be satisfying and intuitive when your character model is flipping around so much.
And this is the core of it. Like if it's not intuitive at all and it doesn't feel good, then the whole game's bad. I imagine that this kind of game would be similar to like Super Mario 64, which a lot of people when they start playing, they're like, God, this feels so like ice skatey and so slippery and so whatever. But when you when you speed run it and you master it, it's got such a high skill ceiling and it's so satisfying to watch and to do when you master the controls. And it's like, imagine, did you ever play The Binding of Isaac?
No.
Have you ever played like any, they call them like twin stick shooters or twins? So like Binding of Isaac, you have like WASD to like control your character, like a 2D on the screen, right?
Yeah.
Up, down, left, right. And then I'm trying to remember the controls. I might get this wrong, but it doesn't really matter for the sake of this argument. And then like you have your left hand on WSD and your right hand on the arrow keys.
Okay, yeah, I like looked up some pictures and stuff. So like
left and right. So that'll control like which direction you're like firing or attacking, right? So imagine that these controls you could play with maybe two sticks or, you know, WSD and the arrow keys. So imagine if, you know, you're like this, right? And you press A, which is like left, right? On that could push your arms out, which would make you go one direction. And then if you pressed D, it would be like the other side of your body, which would be your legs out, right? And then maybe like left arrow would be like pull your arms in. Yeah. So it's basically like you control your arms with A and left, and you control your legs with D and right. And that would be, you know, arms in, arms out, right? But then like, let's say you're transitioning over like this. Well, now the question is, and I don't know. I can see both ways being comfortable.
Yeah.
But like the default and whether it feels good or quick or seamless is like, is A still gonna control your arms, even though, because it's like before the left, it was with the left and the left, and the right with the right. Well, now it's A with the arms. So it flips. It's like, do you keep it mapped with the direction? And I guess that also goes with like flying vertically in both directions. And I don't know.
Yeah. My gut tells me that you would keep the key bounds to the appendage at all times. So like, you know, if A is legs, it's always legs, because if not, you have to find, you know, the frame they transition.
Yep.
Which could be the better system, but is a more complicated system undoubtedly, because there has to be a point at which they switch. You know what I mean? But so it's like, yeah.
So think about this. Imagine if there's like a thing that I used to do, which is like you kind of flip this way, and then you kick your legs out, which makes you flip.
Oh.
And then you kick your legs out, which makes you flip. And then you kick your legs out, which makes you flip. And it's like, or you could like kick your legs out and then kick your arms and then legs and then arms. And I almost feel like in that scenario, I'd want to go like A.
Because you're
almost like you're spinning the ball, you know, like when you have the ball in your finger and you're. So it's like I can see multiple ways. I don't know.
And that makes sense. But I can also understand why then your desire is to get a little proof of concept in Unreal and mess with it and figure out what feels right, and then hand it to somebody and say, does this feel right? You know what I mean? And then, because if you can nail that, then you're like, all right, let me start building some levels. You know what I mean? Let me start building some puzzles. But
and it's figuring out how to granular I'd want to get to, because like,
because obviously
when you see me fly, my body's doing this. I'm spinning and I'm twisting, and my arms I'm asymmetrical, and because this would need to be, I think like it would be a lot easier to control and conceptually and program if it was just 2D. Your body's basically symmetrical all the time. Like if you cut down the middle, your right arm is always doing what your left arm is doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when it comes to like a transition, you could make it so that it's like when you transition that you put your arms out, you know, maybe you have like spacebar and control as like the ascend descend, which would like, so like spacebar would be like flatten your whole body. Control would be like arm your whole body.
Yeah, almost like controls that were resets. Like spacebar, no matter what, it reset to this because that would lift you up. Yeah.
But then there's also like, imagine you wanted to do like get up into like a cannonball position, like somersault, to where like, imagine you kick your legs out, and then it's like, if you double tap double tap D or double tap like the right arrow, then you would go like, you know, ball up, and then you would spin super fast.
Yeah.
So imagine like you prop up, you like blast yourself this way, do a little flip because you need to go through a gap that's really small.
Yeah.
So you're like, but then like once you go through, you then need to like stop, flatten out, and go back the other way because there's spikes or flames or whatever. But then the question is like, do you have a button that's like double tap is like a quick flip, or you double tap and that's a transition to vertical, double tap again and it's like transition, and maybe triple tap is you go like 270 degrees.
Yeah.
Or you want to make it so that like you need to give it like the leg out, arms in, and it does it incrementally.
Yeah.
These are all things
those are all questions that you need to feel, because that's going to truly dictate the challenge of the game. You know what I mean? Like, do you make it, obviously there's ends of the spectrum, like you said, do you make all of the major positions just like one click away? Click, I'm in this position, click, I'm in this position. That's one end of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is it's fully, you need hands on all appendage at all times, and you're completely manipulating it. And like where
and I don't want it to be like QWOP where it's
exactly
awkward, you know?
So where on that scale does it feel rewarding to master, but enjoyable to start?
Yeah, and honestly, like this game, I would, if and when I ever build this, speed running is going to be like speed running in mind, a first class citizen. So first thing first, I'm going to build in like an input recording system.
Yeah.
So that you can have like input like Trackmania,
For sure.
where it's like you know every input on every frame, and you can have a playback file. So like Doom,
dude, because like that would be so a la Trackmania. That game would be so great for like community built maps.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is I would build in as a first class feature at launch would be a map builder where I would maybe come up with 50 maps in the main campaign. Maybe wouldn't even need a storyline, you know, like you know, maybe some high level, like it's the future. The world is made of fans. You know, you know, everything's a fan. Humans evolved fan blades.
Fan blades.
You know, I don't know what the fucking story would be. But like, and have it be kind of similar to if anybody ever played OnlyFans. Fuck off. I hate all you guys. Holy shit. OnlyFans.
That's the name of the game. That's
Jesus Christ. No, it's
OnlyFans
OnlyFans with a question mark. Okay.
Z.
Yeah. With a Z and a question mark. OnlyFans? Holy shit. Okay.
Yo.
Lonely fans? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Nice. But yeah, I don't know if did you ever see or play Happy Wheels?
No.
The browser game Happy Wheels?
Wait, maybe.
I'm pulling up a video to show you. Happy Wheels number 103. I don't know what this is.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah. Yeah,
so it's very like heavy on, see, these are all user submitted levels, right?
Yep.
And it's just like a fucking meme. Like the default character is like a dad with his fucking kid on the, it's just such a meme.
Yep.
But you build in enough different cool elements where you have a simple map maker, and now you have infinite content forever. And you know, just a game built with speedrunning as a first class citizen. It has a timer built into the game, you know, to like make things simple. It has all of the replay validation and stuff for like anti-cheat.
Dude,
you know, whatever. And then the user generated stuff.
It's like infinite memes, infinite speedrunning, infinite content.
But all I need as a software guy, if I have, it's like if you set up a canvas, you prime it, you give me all the paints and everything, I will be able to like make a nice painting, right? But if you say make a nice painting and now I got to like go to the store, find the paint, which paint do I want? Take fucking 2 months to figure out, do I want this kind of paint on oil-based paint? What kind of canvas? Do I want to paint on a wet canvas? Do I want a canvas at all? Am I going to do this with pencils, markers, crayons? How am I going to do this? What are the different shading techniques? I'll never do the painting. Right? But if I had just somebody who knew Unreal Engine and who could get me a fucking stick figure that I could like press A, D, left, right, and it would just legs go out, make me go this way. And I don't know if I have to roll my own physics engine. I have ways of like, I have an implementation kind of pseudocode written out about how I would roll my own pseudo physics engine, or they might just have like, oh, they have all the particle fluid dynamics where all the wind and stuff is
just drag in. Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about the one little mobile game that I made that I never did anything with, but that space game? And how I spent all this time implementing all the gravity formulas based on the mass of all the planets and everything. And I realized, like, if I just said world.physicsengine.gravity, or no, world, if I just, what was it? Like, I need to, like, take the world scene and, like, turn physics on and then, like, set the mass of the objects.
And
then set gravity to, like, 0. Then, like, it was just full on space orbiting, and it's like, and I spent like a while actually building all that, and it was like 4 lines of code. Jeez. But I'm sure I don't know that.
Yeah,
so I don't want to just go in.
So you don't want to go in and spend 2 months creating something, and then the viewer's like, "Oh, I'm in Unreal. All you have to do is click this button," and it's like, dude, you know, I've been there. It's like, you know, that's what it is. So you don't want to start until somebody can just freaking get you there.
Because you know what I end up doing? I would end up getting the default like I did with Unity, the default like Unity project where it's like a robot dude with a gun that like jumps and there's like shooting, and whenever it's like, okay, delete the gun, delete the environment, delete the physics, delete the thing. Okay, now like rotate the guy this way, and then it's like, how do I control the limbs? Fuck, I don't know. There's like a walk animation. I didn't make that. Well, now how do I? And then it's just I spend all day and I'll never get there.
Yeah. Yep.
So
if you're out there,
please, someone actually did reach out to me. I remember how it said nobody reached out to me.
Yeah.
I recently saw one person like reached out to me. It was in like my pending messages and was like, yo, I can help. Yeah, I'm down to help out with your game idea. And I was like, that was June of 2023. I'm like, oh, I never saw it. So if you heard this and you're still down, cracker,
hit me up again.
Know. Yeah, because I totally didn't see your message, but so I lied. There was one person, but anybody else, if you like think that you could get me started, I could build. You build it, yeah. I can make changes. You know, like any software engineer can like debug and make changes on top of something already built. But it's such a massive mountain to get started.
I believe it. I believe it. Dang. Well,
yeah, I want to do that.
That's
I'm more excited about that than anything now because every game is fucking boring. I bought City Skylines 2.
Yeah.
And I was like excited. I literally refunded it after like 40 minutes just because I really like City Skylines 1. It's been so long since I played, I forgot most of the details. But like the intro tutorial and was just like annoying enough in the first like 20 or 30 minutes. Then I'm like you'd have, there's like one of those tutorial pop-ups. So like pop-ups over half the fucking screen. And it's like, I want to see what's behind the pop-up, but I can't unless I dismiss it, but then I can't get back to it.
Yeah.
Like simple things like that. And then like connecting the roads with like the sewer pipes was just like more annoying than the first City Skylines. And it's like, you do this so much that this should be like the most not annoying shit, connecting like roads. And I'm like, I'm over this.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people play City Skylines, but I haven't really played any of those type of games since like Roller Coaster Tycoon.
First one was really satisfying, and honestly, Prison Architect was one that was really I think was really well done, really satisfying, setting up all the like plumbing and the showers and the setting up the cells and the rooms and the kitchen and it was really satisfying. And this was just kind of like after 40 minutes, I was like, you know, okay, you lost me. I'm sure the game is probably fine.
Yeah, but it's just it didn't capture you.
It just it lost me.
Did you see that Rockstar announced that GTA 6, the first trailer, will come out in December?
Yep, I saw that. I heard that.
I heard that the budget was like over $1 billion.
Is that the first game with $1 billion budget?
It might be. Now, we had that conversation about how many GTA 5 copies sold. Like they made billions off GTA 5. I mean, there was like hundreds of millions of copies sold. They've spent so much money from the like shark cards and the GTA Online community. So, but yeah, GTA 6 apparently we're actually getting a trailer for that pretty soon.
Dude, there's just something about like GTA 3 was such a monumental game. Like it was totally game changing.
Yeah.
Like nothing before that just gave me the experience of like I can do quote unquote whatever I want. Like I can just drive on sidewalks and like run people over and like I mean like other games had stuff like that, but not as immersive and in depth in a way that I think GTA 3 really changed the game. And then San Andreas, there's something about the open environment of San Andreas and the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I hear like the Young Turks or like the Who, Eminence Front, and of listening to like KDST driving through the desert. I don't know why, dude. That was like I'm nostalgic for that experience of like vibing in that environment, just listening to the radio.
I'm interested, man. They've obviously learned a lot from like the online and RP community because that's still like crazy thriving. Obviously GTA made them apparently around like $8 billion. You know what's interesting too is that I heard, so you recently just like got deep into Red Dead Redemption 2, which is also Rockstar.
Which I never finished, actually. I never finished that.
I heard that the graphical upgrade to GTA 6 is going to be in the vein of the difference between GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. Like graphically, those are like completely different playing fields. Like Red Dead Redemption 2 is like one of the most beautiful looking games ever.
When did GTA 5, this is maybe a stupid question, but did it come out before?
Oh, GTA 5 came out on the PlayStation 3.
2013.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. GTA 5.
It's actually insane because it like, I mean, I guess some of that's modding, but like that game held up, huh?
Yeah. It did. And then look at like Red Dead's scenes and graphics. You know what I mean? Obviously you just like were in it. And so I've heard that they like obviously
It was only 5 years.
They've been working on their engine a ton. And I don't know. It's interesting. I'll definitely be super interested just like to see, because they're like the first trailer comes out. Like I don't think we see GTA 6 for like a while, but
I saw a clip on Twitter because when I saw that you put GTA 6 trailer or whatever, I like YouTubed it.
There were some
from 9
leaks.
days ago, and I don't know if it's real or not. Can I show it, or is that?
It's not real. Sued? Yeah, it's not real.
So this is not it.
Well, that might be real, but like they've been hacked multiple times. All that stuff was stolen. Yeah.
I wonder, like, here's the thing. Like, this could be GTA 5 modded for all I know.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a while since I played that. I probably like remember the graphics better than what it was.
Or it could be GTA 6 with like half the settings turned off, right? Like, you know what I mean? In a dev environment or something.
Oh, okay. I guess this is GTA 5.
Oh.
All right. Yeah. So there you go.
So but yeah,
I heard that there was some announcement too with fucking Star Citizen today, and I'm like, I'm sure Jesse will tell me.
Not that I saw.
Whoever said that in my chat earlier, are you still here? And or
there was
what was that?
IAE, which is like their free fly week, where they they re-released the Star Engine demo. I knew that they were working on another demo for that. But yeah, that's just like they've spent all this time, they're hyping up their engine, their Star Engine, which is pretty sick. So,
okay.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like I played Star Citizen the other day, and it's funny because like it's interesting how just perception, right? Like some people are like, is this supposed to be like Starfield? And it's like, oh, my sweet summer child. Like Star Citizen has been 2012, my friends. Like
this is supposed to be like Starfield.
Yeah, it's just funny. And but then the next thing they say is like, wait, are you actually leaving the planet without a loading screen? And I'm like, yes.
Yeah, dude.
Yes, I am.
Brand new tech, dude.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Speaking of that video is just about to hit 400K, dude. Like, I'm so glad. My Starfield Baldur's Gate comparison video, yeah, 398,000 views. I'm so glad that at one point I decided to turn off push notifications to my phone from YouTube, because like 52 minutes ago, 2 hours ago, 2 hours ago, 2 hours ago, 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 5 hours ago, 5 hours ago, 5 hours ago, 5 hours ago, 6. I just get like a dozen fucking. Oh my god, it's so many comments I still get every time I log into Facebook. I mean, fucking Facebook. Log into YouTube, pull up like to clear my notifications badge, and it's always like a little preview of all I see are was it a better game? The Tarkov going in the wrong direction, and my 2 Starfield videos are like the 2 most active videos right now.
Yeah.
and the comments are still buck
Oh
wild,
yeah,
dude.
still just as buck wild as ever. Well, that is the stuff.
Hostess.
The good stuff. So yeah, dude, so tomorrow's Thanksgiving. It'll be, by the time you're hearing this on an episode, it'll be way later, but happy Thanksgiving to all of the Pogcast listeners out there.
We're thankful for you.
We're thankful for you.
Especially the PP-ers, the PP enjoyers.
The PP-ers. And then we're kind of like heading towards December fast. Maybe we get some cool gaming news. Maybe we get some arena. Maybe we get some Veritas, JesseKazam squads in arena once that comes out. So some cool stuff coming. But yeah, Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a good time with your family wherever you are. We know the holidays can be a super exciting time or a rough time. But thank you guys for just allowing us to do this. It's super fun. We love it. And thank you guys for hanging. This will be live on all the platforms Monday still. This will probably go live on the PP on Friday. If you are interested in more of this content or getting access to these episodes ad-free and early, you can head to patreon.com/thepogcastpod. We love the homies over there. We do extra episodes. It's super fun. But yeah, you guys are great. Thank you for hanging, and we will definitely see y'all on the next one.
Peace.